morning, Rose. Today we have the opportunity in this program of interviews of Expoliva 221st. Rose Bechara. She is a producer of olive fruit and also a producer of olive oil from the Líbano. Good morning, Rose. How are you?
Good morning, Juan. Thank you for having me. I'm humbled. I'm good.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Then, firstly of everything, please, can you explain something about your activity, your history, something like that? It's okay for you?
Of course. Well, I'm Lebanese. I come from a small village in southern Lebanon that is called Darmmess. That is known to be classified as the Bordeaux of Lebanese olive oils for various reasons, which were offered to us by Mother Nature. For instance, our olive trees are very old. They go up to 2,000 years old. The soil is white, rich with clay, which is very good for the olive tree. And the altitude and climate are ideal. We do olive oil from father to son, extra virgin olive oil, which everyone does in the village. And since a young age, I used to be very proud of what I used to hear about our olive oil, saying it is one of the best in Lebanon, not to say the best. And I had this dream of launching my own brand of extra virgin olive oil globally. For whatever reason, you know, life sometimes takes you somewheres and you forget your focus. For whatever reason, I started my feasibility in 2017, 2018, and I launched the product during the harvest of October 2019. Fortunately or unfortunately, a few days after the launch, something very big happened in Lebanon, which was the revolution due to the whole situation, economically, politically, financially, we're living in Lebanon. And the country became extremely unstable across the board. Now, my objective was to launch this brand globally, which is why I had to conduct a test on the local market in 2019. I've always, if you want, admired the olive tree, and I've learned a lot from it, how it does withstand the worst conditions, heat, cold, how strong it is, it even withstands fire. And I actually had two options. Either I do the traditional oil, the traditional Lebanese oil, or I go with a niching strategy and I do produce a premium quality olive oil. And given that I knew that people the world over, even Lebanese, do not know that the olive tree started in Lebanon. And the Phoenicians had a big role in spreading it across Mediterranean countries. So we do not really have our weight yet globally as a Lebanese olive oil. And given that we are a very small country, our quantities are limited. Actually, Lebanon on average produces 30,000 tons of olive oil. It's a business of like $70 million. But given that Lebanon is of 10,000 square meters, that's quite good. Olive oil is a big, big part of our heritage, of our traditions, of our history, of our cuisine. And I decided that I do not want to do the traditional oil because I'll be competing with global, very important players like Spanish and Italians and so on and so forth. So I picked a niching strategy. What we do is that the product is traceable. The olives come only from this village. We only harvest one variety of olives, which is one of the oldest in the world, called in Arabic Suri, originated from sur, which is tir, and which has an aroma and a flavor that are absolutely fantastic. So it's a monovarietal oil. We only take lands that are grown organically because the product's going to be certified in due time as an organic product. And we do a very early harvest, which makes us lose lots of yield. However, it gives us a very premium quality. Adding to it that we mill in a modern mill, an Italian Alfa Laval, and then we filter. We're probably the only brand or among the few brands who filter in Lebanon. The result is a product that did win international awards. We did win a gold medal in Italy, a silver medal in Japan. It's very well balanced between the fruity, the pungent, and the bitter. And it is a product that scores very high on chemical analysis. The acidity is of 0.14. And now in May, it was analyzed again, it's still at 0.14. And a milestone for Lebanon, which I'm proud to say, is that we are at roughly 300 milligrams per kg of polyphenols. So Darmmess could be called another year a high phenolic olive oil. Which is something to be proud of course.
Okay.
Now this year, Juan, the product is exported. 85% of our production, of our sales went everywhere in the world. And 15% are sold locally. However, we're facing the challenges of the economic crisis. The product is extremely expensive for the local market. We'll see how things go with time. I hope something will change. And that's about it. That's in short.
Which one is the price? Which one is the price of the bottle?
Well, actually, the bottle is priced something between $16 and $18 the world over. In Lebanon, however, it is priced at $12 because it's the country where it is produced. Now, there is no Lebanese who can afford a bottle of extra virgin olive oil at $12. So what we're trying is that we're trying to compensate the loss of margin on the local market from what we export.
Okay.
It is not consistent in terms of pricing strategy. We should find another way of doing things. However, everyone understands that, and it is happening across the board for all Lebanese producers of agri-food products, let's say.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know that in the last 20 years, in the last 20 years, the oliviculture were evolutioning step by step and growing in the country. Up to now, we have 67 countries which produce olive oil. And then, how is your opinion about the future of the oliviculture in the world?
Well, to tell you the truth, Juan, I'm quite anxious because this super intensive farming that did happen across the years did somehow increase the supply. And it did affect the pricing of olive oil, which wasn't in the advantage of small farmers. I do not have statistics the world over about small farmers. However, I can tell you that in Lebanon, 75% of olive oil farmers are considered small ones. And then like 15%, 75%. I'm gonna give you the example of my village. My village is very small, 4.5 square kilometers, 130,000 olive trees. If you want to go and get the olives, you have to do deals with many farmers because farmers are very small. So this super intensive farming, it did have its advantages. We cannot say no. However, the future is going to be very challenging. In Lebanon, it's not well developed yet. It does exist, but on a very small scale. And the challenges we're going to be facing go from growing to the environmental impact, to the byproduct, to the processing, to the consumer education, and the list goes a long way. So in Lebanon, for instance, the farmers are facing another challenge, which is the olive oil business, given the devaluation of the Lebanese lira, is not profitable anymore for them. So they either want to diversify and plant some other things. Fortunately, we're not cutting olive trees, because in the world there are people who are cutting ancient olive trees, which is a pity, in order to do the super intensive farming. In Lebanon, it's not happening. However, farmers, I'm seeing this, they are trying to diversify in many other products that could be more rewarding financially. And you see that the sons, the family of the farmer, somehow they are not interested in taking the business over. So where are we going? In Lebanon now, if you cannot export a big chunk of your production, you cannot sustain the business and move forward.
Oh, it's a bit. And which are the main countries where you are exporting olive oil?
Me or Lebanese products? Olive oil.
You and the Lebanese product.
The Lebanese product, the Lebanese olive oil is going to Arab countries, mainly Saudi, Kuwait. It's going heavily to the US, in a shy way to Japan, China, not existing yet. I'm talking about the big markets. And we have a quota with the European community, I believe, for 1,000 tons of olive oil, for which we do not pay taxes. Okay. And we're not reaching it. So it is a potential we're not fulfilling. However, before Juan, the farmer wasn't very much interested in exporting because he was being profitable on the local market. And the farmer is not a marketeer. He's not a businessman. So in order to export, you should have a certain background. And the challenge is becoming more heavy on them. Okay. Which is why people like me, who have a small startup, who know how to market a product, are somehow a solution for them, because the farmer would prefer to sell me his olives, provided he sells me at a really high price because it's an early harvest, sorted olives, blah, blah, blah. He prefers to sell me these and sleep and be happy with the income he had, instead of challenging himself and doing it all alone.
Okay. You know that up to now, there are 199 countries which consume olive oil in the world. In order to expand this demand, which one or which are the most important vectors or arguments to improve this demand, in your opinion?
Well, I do represent Lebanon at a global NGO that is named Women in Olive Oil. Our objective is to share experiences and expertise. And from what we see, because we are like 2,000 women from like 65 countries around the globe, we all face the same challenge, is that the extra virgin olive oil does not enjoy any consumer education. And if I want, it's the world over. I didn't know that. I thought it's a problem only in some countries, among others, Lebanon. However, you would be surprised to know that it is the case in Greece. And in Lebanon, for instance, we are among the lowest in terms of olive oil consumption per capita. I'm not going to pronounce a figure because I do not have the latest statistics. However, it is related to the fact that the Lebanese consumer or the consumer the world over does not know how to buy his olive oil. I buy from Juan since 20 years. I continue to do that. Maybe his oil is not even extra virgin. And we all should know something. For a farmer the world over to invest in quality, he should have a financial reward. If he can't sell his extra virgin olive oil more expensive, he will not do it. And to sell it more expensive, the consumer should be educated. So people tell you, why is the product so expensive? They do not understand what efforts we put all year long behind this product. So the consumer should understand many things around olive oil, from how to buy his olive oil. Does he know how to do a professional olive oil tasting? It's like wine. Does he know how to assess it organoleptically? Does he ask about the chemical analysis? Does he understand polyphenols, acidity, peroxide? Does he know how to pair it with food? Does he know how to store it at home? Most of the people I see in Lebanon, they buy my bottle, they put it nearby the gas where it gets oxidized after 10 days because of the heat. So it is a huge challenge. We started, as women in olive oil the world over, launching campaigns of education. For instance, we always do webinars with the gurus who could potentially create some education, awareness, knowledge around this. Of course, it's a very long process. It's going to take too long. Yes. And in Lebanon in specific one, I started a cooperation with a very important cooking school. And they asked me to do these classes whereby I present the whole thing I just explained, of course, in details, to be able to explain to the Lebanese consumers why should he look for a quality and how to know this is a product of quality, how to taste it, how to pair it with food. So we're starting this campaign in July. I hope we're going to be able to spread the word even on a small scale.
Yes, we have to improve the culture and we have to improve the knowledge about the olive oil in the world. You're totally right. I fully agree with you. Fully agree. Yeah. In other terms, in the first question, you explained to me about the situation with the modern oliviculture, the intensive and super intensive, and the traditional oliviculture. In Lebanon, I think that the most important olive oil arrives from the traditional oliviculture. It's right or not?
Listen, there is a good quality olive oil coming from super intensive farming in Lebanon. However, I should say it again, it's on a very small scale. However, the majority of our production comes from small farmers. Unfortunately, the education in Lebanon is also lacking at the level of the farmer, in the sense that he wants to put pesticides. Why can't I put pesticides? No, you cannot. You're harming people's lives. And there is a lot to do. For instance, let's say I'm dealing with 5 or 6 farmers. There are 2 who really understand that extra virgin olive oil is a superfood and it's kind of a food supplement. And we should grow it, harvest it, and do the whole process as such. It is a big challenge, Juan. Yes. The super intensive farming are working with high standards. They are producing a good quality olive oil. However, what I should say, they are planting small trees, 60, 70 years old, maybe more young, which cannot give you the taste of extra virgin olive oil that comes from our old variety. So if we want to compete on quality with the Lebanese olive oil the world over, We have to protect our heritage. We have to protect the small farmer, give him financial rewards, support him financially, technically, and everything, because we want him to continue. And we want to put our hand in his hand and make sure he is motivated to do the best he can.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree with you. Which, please repeat the name of the variety, the special variety of the Lebanon.
It's Souri. Souri.
Souri. Yeah.
Souri, coming from a region in Lebanon called Sur, known in Latin as Tir. It is one of the oldest varieties in the world, and it's like the Chardonnay, if you want, of the local varieties we have. In Lebanon, we do not have lots of varieties. They are like 6.
Okay, Shari.
But this one is the best.
Okay. Thank you very much. You know that this interview is due to the Expoliva event. Have you ever been in Expoliva or not?
I haven't been, but I've read about you. I know exactly what you do. And I did look a bit at the, let's say, conditions and measures you take, which are amazingly professional. I'm really proud of what you're doing. I would love to participate in the near future in this exhibition and hopefully to win something. And I would like actually to tell you a funny story. When I launched the oil in 2019, my aim was to go global the year after. And he was back then my fiancé, who was Italian. He told me, you have to participate in international competitions if you want to go global. And I was very upset. I told him, what? I'm not gonna win? What's in it for me? And so on and so forth. So he didn't listen to me. He did pay, he sent the bottles, and he did it all. And it was the best thing that ever happened to the business, because when you have an international recognition at the level of decent international competitions and exhibitions like Expoliva, it is really an award, a certification to be proud of that will make the difference for the brand. Because, you know, especially for a small startup, you need to prove you're credible. And this is one of the things you could do to do that. Apart from the fact that for a producer, it's a big satisfaction. It's like the biggest gift of the year. Someone did recognize my efforts.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are finishing a study about the behavior of the consumer of olive oil in the world. Okay, and then, for example, in Spain, the highest consumption is in the families with children. Okay, and the people which are from 49 years old ahead. Okay, how is the situation in your country? Is similar or is not similar?
No, I believe that my clients and clients of a good quality extra virgin olive oil are not very young people. I do believe that. So yes, we're talking about more or less this range of age. However, what I see that the clients who are appreciating a good quality extra virgin olive oil in Lebanon are people who are gourmet. They love to eat. They are connoisseurs. They love to have a good wine. Now, the difference between wine and oil you put it in your dish. So you're doomed to eat it. Wine, you can change your glass. So it's even more important to pick the right olive oil. However, in Lebanon, there are still many myths around olive oil. For example, I do put lots of efforts to convince my clients that yes, this is a stable oil you can cook with. And the latest researches show that. So I do believe, yes, it is a mature age. And the people who are, let's say, fans of olive oil are usually fans of gourmet cuisine.
Yes.
There is a
He is
chunk.
the same. He is the same.
Yeah, there is a chunk also, I could say, who are a bit more educated, who read, who know more, who understand that this is a highly healthy product, and they buy it and use it raw as a finishing oil for health purposes. There is also this part. And we're trying, as Women in Olive Oil, as the brand Darmmess, to spread the word more and more through social media, through everything we do around polyphenols, because it's a key ingredient. It's a key compound.
And the people from your country are consuming mainly olive oil from Lebanon or also from other countries?
I do not have an updated statistics, but I know that 25% of Lebanese olive oil was going on export markets before. Now we do not know. I believe it is more because, as I told you, we're in a financial crush. However, imported olive oils in Lebanon are practically not available because there is a high level of customs.
Okay.
Just like everywhere in the world, some olive oils are entering in a way that is not very legal and are sometimes being sold as a Lebanese olive oil. But I mean, this happens everywhere in the world. Even if you control, it can happen. However, the main challenge in Lebanon is that comparing to Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal, other countries, the consumption per capita is extremely low. We have absolutely to work on that. Now we have one advantage, it's that vegetable oils, because they are imported, they are becoming very expensive. Olive oil being local is less expensive. So here there is an opportunity to tackle because olive oil is way more healthy than vegetable refined oils.
Okay. Do you want to remark or to give us some more information about something in special? I don't know. What's something that you want to explain?
Well, I would like first to thank you for having me. I was very pleased. And I would like to spread the word over, to ask for technical, financial support for this beautiful industry in Lebanon, because we need it, especially now with all what we're going through. So we are open to anyone who would like to discuss with us any potential help or support. And we believe that in the upcoming few years, we're really going to change the image that is quite vague for now. We're going to position Lebanese olive oils on the right track, put them on the world map of extra virgin olive oils. And we're going to make our country proud of us as small and big producers.
Okay, if we will be able, we will support you as
Thank you, Juan.
well as you need. Okay, thank you very much for this interview. I enjoy a lot, and then we will get in contact with you in order to inform when we will distribute in the media, and I hope everything will be okay in your country with your family for the future. And thanks again for sharing this experience with us. Thank you very much, Rose.
Thank you, Juan. Best of luck.
Okay.
All the best.
All the best.
Ciao.